Okay, good morning and greetings, everyone here joining our AIDS Watch Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube live stream. My name is Agnes Nkata Blackwood, and I serve as the Marketing Communication Manager here at AIDS United. It's such a pleasure to be with you today as we are going to uplift one of the proudest moments at AIDS United in 2024, and that is AIDS Watch. This year at AIDS Watch, we had nearly 500 advocates from 35 states, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia gathered in Washington, D.C. for the AIDS Watch 2024 conference. This is the longest running and largest constituent led HIV federal advocacy convening in the nation. Advocates rallied on the lawn of the U.S. Capitol before convening over 240 meetings with congressional leaders about national level policies that help end the HIV epidemic. Today, I'm so excited because we are going to highlight the winner of our digital advocacy contest, which took place at AIDS Watch 2024. And this contest's mission was to uplift the voices of the folks that make AIDS Watch what it is, the HIV advocates. HIV advocates are working on the ground daily, not just digitally. And we wanted to make your voices be the number one spotlight as we gathered in Washington, D.C. I'm so happy to announce our winner was Jomil Luna, who is a social media influencer and personality, who also serves as a public health professional holding a master's degree in public health. Jamil comes from humble beginnings, raised by a Puerto Rican family in Camden, New Jersey. Jamil has dedicated his career to educating, advocating, and motivating the LGBTQ and HIV community. He is a proud employee of AIDS Healthcare Foundation and a new proud influencer partner here at AIDS United. He has held countless appointed positions, such as the New York City HIV Planning Group and the Bronx Borough President's LGBTQ Task Force. Everybody, I want you to welcome to the stage Jomil Luna.
Hey! Thank you for that introduction, Agnes. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here with us. We were so excited for your participation at AIDS Watch, as well as I have to shout out all of the advocates that were right there by your side, posting, tagging, and just being engaged with the work at AIDS Watch. And you came out on top as our chosen winner. We really appreciated your creativity and your dedication to the contest and just to the work that we do here at AIDS United.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But I'd like to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So thank you so much again for that introduction. It's my honor and pleasure to be here. I'm super honored. I didn't even know that there was an advocacy contest. So I'm super honored that you saw me and that you saw the passion behind the work. Literally, I did it from the bottom of my heart. So I wanted to start there because I just really wanted to raise the voices of everyone that was there. We all have a story to tell. And my story begins in like you said, in humble beginnings in Camden, New Jersey, where I was born and raised. It's one of the hoods of New Jersey and of the United States. But this little boy from Camden, saw a path towards just doing better. And went to Rutgers, did my master's in public health. Public health has been a blessing in disguise. I wanted to be a doctor. That didn't work out. But I did the next best thing, and public health has really given me an avenue to really help people. And I've helped at this point in my life, in my career, I've helped thousands and thousands of people, and especially people living with HIV. And I've helped thousands of people prevent HIV. And I want to stop there because I know we have so much other places to go. But my goal in life is to really give back to my community. And in the HIV work that I do, I really found a way to do that.
Thank you so much. And quite honestly, it's really touching to hear that you didn't even know that there was a contest. We could definitely tell that this is just who you are. You're an activist, and just want to uplift the fact that it's not just about shining on social media. It is absolutely about the work that you do daily in ending the HIV epidemic and improving the lives of people living with HIV. So thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
We honor that. We honor that so much. So, would you like to share your personal story or experience from AIDS Watch that highlights the importance in the fight to end the HIV epidemic?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I should start with how I actually ended up there. So a coworker, Yolanda Diaz, who's big at AIDS Watch, right? She's all over the place, and I love her because she's
She's
loud and
amazing.
proud. Yes. So she said, Jamil, you've never been to AIDS Watch? And I said, no, I've never been to AIDS Watch, but I've heard of it. And, I don't know. I just never applied, right? Or I never had the opportunity to go. And she says, no, you got to apply. There's scholarships. Like, you would be amazing at this. You're already doing all this work. Like, why not? Right. So I did it, got a scholarship. And that's how I ended up at AIDS Watch. And what initially drew me was, obviously Yolanda, right? Because I was just like, you know what? She's inspiring me because she tells me, that I'm already doing all this work. And sometimes, we can limit ourselves in our environment, right? And I was like, you know what? The next wave of, like, I guess the path that I want to take in my career, in my life, is to really spread this news about the important work that we're all doing at AIDS Watch, right? There's so many advocates from so many places, and you see that the issues, they're similar but different. And some places have it worse than others. And I think that when we all come together at AIDS Watch, we can all have a collective voice and we can make a bigger impact.
Amazing. Thank you. What was it like for Lobby Day for you? Who did you meet with? And what was the meeting with the congressional office like?
Oh yeah, let me tell you, I was a little nervous because it was the first time that I had ever done anything like that. But I have to be honest and say that you guys prepared us. You guys prepared us with the workshops, with setting us up with like roommates that maybe had past experience, and we had a lot of time to really prepare. And I think that that's the most important thing when you go into something new, that you have time to prepare, that you have time to like study and research, right? So I feel that by the time we got to Lobby Day, I was well prepared to share my story and to advocate for the points that we wanted to make. And so, for example, some of the people from New Jersey, who we met with, was like Senator Cory Booker's office, right? So we went to like his office, and his office was like super super friendly, right? And then maybe we went to some other offices, and I won't mention names, but that were not so friendly, right? Or they were not so receptive to the messages that we wanted to give. And I think that it's great to get this experience because we don't always have the words, we don't always have the know-how. And I think that you all prepare us to really just give the best message that we can give to these Congress people and senators and all that.
It's so refreshing to hear that you feel that Age United prepared you for that experience. Our policy team, every department worked diligently to make sure that advocates felt prepared for Lobby Day. Let's talk about impact. Why, in your view, is it crucial to participate in this event annually? And how does it shape in the conversation at the national level?
Oh, because people are still dying, and it's so unfortunate that people are still dying from HIV just because they're scared, they're stigmatized, they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to seek the help. And that's the reason that we still need to talk about it, and that we still need to fight and raise the awareness around the issues, that even I, like, as a person from like New York, New Jersey, right? We have it good here for the most part, right? But then you go down south and you hear the stories about like Florida and Tennessee, and it's unfortunate that they don't have the same rights that maybe we have over here. And so that's why, it may sound dramatic, but people are literally dying. They're dying internally, they're dying mentally, and they're dying physically because they're not taking care of themselves. So I think that that's the most important message that we can portray as to why we need to have this event, all day, every day, we need to advocate. But, AIDS Watch really does a good job of setting us up.
Amazing. And you're so right. As someone who's been working in the HIV field since I was 16 years old, don't ask how old I am now. I'm 17 now. as yes, as someone who's been doing this work from adolescence, I've lost friends, I've lost family to complications of HIV, and I know the power of the work that you do and the over 500 advocates work that they do, the impact of the services, the mental health services, the on the ground services, the peer advocacy, peer mentoring, the power of all of the work that you all do, the impact that it has on saving lives. So definitely want to just hold space for a moment
Mm,
for all of our friends and family that we have lost through the years, and that we continue to fight for their lives and their dignity.
yes.
Thank you. So back to the script. Was there a sense of empowerment as you were participating, and can you describe that for us?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I have to be honest, right? I get there, I'm a little nervous. I'm already like, I'm going up to my room, I'm meeting people in the elevator and they're friendly. And then I go downstairs. And Agnes, you were one of the first people that I saw, right? And that I met. And you were so friendly and so welcoming. So I want to thank you for that, because that gave me a sense of like, okay, like, this is about building community. This is about like getting people to the table. And then, when you guys asked me to like, share my story immediately, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Because, like, social media and the power of sharing messages on video, I know the power of it. I feel it in my heart and soul. And so, the fact that you all encouraged that was a beautiful thing. And the fact that you welcomed everyone that was just coming and like putting their little stickers on the map of the United States so that they could feel that pride in who, and what state they were representing. It was just such a beautiful experience from the beginning. And then as time goes along, you start to see like the relationships that have been formed over the years. And that's a beautiful thing too, because you're like, you know what, like, this is not just that people are just like coming to a conference, right, one and done. No, this is like built relationships, right? It's about building relationships not only with each other so that we could be stronger, but we also learn how to like speak out. And then you're building relationships also with like these politicians, right? That over time they're like, oh, I remember you and I remember your story, and your story had an impact on me, and that's why I decided to make the changes that I decided to make, right? And I have heard success stories. So, coming back from AIDSWatch, I heard, because I was with the team from Hyacinth and NJCRI, um, just to name a few. And I saw that they had so much experience and that they had these beautiful relationships with these Congress people. And I said, wow, like, you guys have been doing it for so long, and it works. It works when you continuously like go at it. Eventually, people are going to hear the message.
Absolutely. A bunch of that resonates with me as well. And I would love to give a shout out to the state coordinators that were so instrumental in guiding and navigating those congressional meetings on the Hill, over 240 meetings to be exact. So, big shout out to all of the state coordinators, especially mine from the Texas delegation. And actually, that leads me to my next question. What were the biggest takeaways for you at AIDSWatch 2024?
You know, I also went into AIDSWatch thinking to myself, Jamil, you've always kind of been afraid of politics, right? I've always had like this idea that it's overwhelming, that it's confusing. And the older that I get, the wiser I become, right? But that wisdom also tells you sometimes you have to get involved, and you have to get involved in a different way. So although I'm very like community oriented driven, right, sometimes I have to go to that advocacy political side. And that's what I told myself to get me there, right? um, and I'm so appreciative. I'll give you a little story. I remember taking my first public health classes, and it was about policy, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. Right. I was like, this is, but I'm like, what, this 18, 19-year-old kid in college, right? But I get it now. I get why we have to make sure that we have um, proper policy that represents us. And I get that now at almost 39 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it took me almost, 2 decades, right? But I think that's the message that I want to give to everyone, that you learn these tools and you see why it's so important. Because unfortunately, we live in a world, we live in a country, right, that you have to be well informed, and you have to come prepared, to fight. And you can't just show up and just with signs. Like, you have to be ready to like have a dialogue. And I think that that's respectable. And I think that that's one of my biggest takeaways from AIDS Watch, is that we did it in such a dignified, respectable way, because we deserve to be respected, right? So then we also have to share and give that respect to others.
Thank you so much for saying that. Jesse made some really powerful addresses during AIDS Watch. Jesse Milan, our CEO, and as you know, our theme for this year was "We're in this together."
Mhm.
I would like to know from you, what does that mean to you? We're in this together.
Oh my gosh, totally. You know, I wake up every day thinking, what's my purpose in life, right? And it really is that. It really is that anything that I do, anything that someone else does, it affects us all. And that's what I think we're in this together means. So it doesn't matter what you do for work, where you come from. We're in this together because every little piece of what we do to enhance our lives also enhances the lives of others, because we're putting work and effort and intention behind it. And I think that that's the most important thing that we can do in life to move the world forward, right? We have moved forward in so many aspects of our lives and in society and where we are today in 2024. But we've, as y'all can see, as y'all know on the news, right? We've also taken so many steps backwards. And that's why we need to continue to advocate, because as much work that goes into moving forward, it can really be taken away from us. And I think that that's one of the biggest messages that I've seen in recent years. Like, it's scary. I actually am really nervous for like the young people that are coming up, because I've actually told myself, oh my gosh, like, I can only imagine what it feels like to be a young person today, to just feel like you're not seen, like you're not being seen, and you're not going to be seen, right? At least maybe when I was in college, and trying to come out the closet, and maybe speak about my status, I saw a path and a progression where it was getting easier. But now it's like all that is being stripped away, and it's such a scary time. And that puts people back in the closet in so many ways. It puts people back in the closet with their HIV status, where they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to share, whether they identify as anything under the LGBTQI plus. I think that's why it's important for all of us to be visible. And obviously AIDS United does a beautiful job of creating visibility.
Thank you so much for saying that. We're working diligently to be even more community centered, and to uplift the voices of you, the advocates, and the folks doing the work on the ground every day. AIDS Watch has been going on for over 30 years, bringing hundreds of people living with HIV and their allies to DC. What advice would you give to a young person, as you mentioned, attending AIDS Watch for the first time, let's say in 2025?
Yeah. So obviously, try to do your research. Go online, go to the AIDS United website. You know what I mean? Like, do your research, like, know what you're going to, right? But you don't have to be intimidated. Like I said, I think it's very family oriented. It's about creating space for people to come together to learn. And that's the most beautiful thing. And then at the end of the day, just have fun.
That is great advice, because it's so rare to go to an event of any kind where you're surrounded by like minded individuals, folks who are literally fighting for the same cause you are. So, yes, have fun, network. I love that advice that you gave to AIDS Watch newcomers. And here at AIDS United, language justice is something that's really important to us. We were really proud to be able to stream the first reception in Spanish, so that our Puerto Rican partners could be able to enjoy AIDS Watch digitally. And are you also a Spanish speaker?
I'm Puerto Rican, yes, and Spanish
Okay.
Spanish speaking, and Some of the people that I met were actually from the delegation of Puerto Rico, and they were super friendly, super amazing, and powerful. They were like, no, like the issues on the island, like we have to be here because we have to like advocate for everyone on the island. And I, even my mind was boggled, right? Because I'm a New Yorican, so to speak, and I don't know all the issues there. And it goes to show that, like, wow, like, although Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, they absolutely do not get treated as equal, right, on the island, and they have less resources, and the situation is really dire there. So a shout out to all the delegation that I met from Puerto Rico, and all the Latinos. I actually went to the session in the morning. I think it was called Café con Pan.
Yes,
Yeah,
perfect fun.
right. And so I felt so inspired to be around like all my family. And I got up, and as someone who was born and raised here, my Spanish, she's good looking, but she ain't that great, right? But I was like, you know what? Like, I have to speak up. And I actually said that. And I said, I'm gonna say a little. I was like, mi nombre es Jomil Luna, soy New Yorican, but I'm here to speak up and speak out, blah blah, in Spanish, right? And I was proud. It was a proud moment. And I think people appreciated that. They were like, you know what? It doesn't matter like on what level of Latinidad that you are, it's a collective effort, right? And I think that we're stronger together. So it doesn't matter if you're from South America, Central America, the Caribbean, we're all in this fight together. Because when we show up here in the United States, we're facing the same issues, right? And then depending on what state you're in, we have to just bond and bind together so that we can be stronger.
Thing. I was wanting to create a space for you to actually speak some Spanish and maybe send a message if to our Spanish speaking audience and family and partners about AIDS Watch.
Okay, you put me to the test on the spot. She ready?
Be ready. That's your
She
hashtag.
ready. She ready. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, hola mi gente, mi nombre es Jomil Luna. Quisiera darle un mensaje de esperanza a todos que viven con VIH y a todos que no están viviendo con VIH. Estamos en esto juntos y juntos podemos hacer mucho. Y el mensaje que quiero dejar hoy es que si no están, involucrado en lo que hace AIDS United y AIDS Watch, tienen la oportunidad de donar, la oportunidad de darle like a una página de internet, a leer los mensajes positivos que están saliendo de este gran evento. Y para mí es un honor ser un latino, un New Yorker, puertorriqueño, born and raised aquí en Nueva Jersey. Y yo estoy con todos ustedes, mi alma y mi corazón está con todos ustedes y ojalá que nos podemos ver juntos pronto. El año que viene, 2025, AIDS Watch, AIDS United.
Absolutely perfect. That representation is so important to us, and we're really happy to partner with you as a result of AIDS Watch to be, a voice that not only represents HIV advocacy, but also represents Puerto Rico and our Spanish-speaking folks, families, brothers, and sisters, like I said. So, as we wrap up, I really would love to hear from you. What would you like to see happen, maybe differently or more of at AIDS Watch 2025?
I actually thought about this and feeling so honored that y'all saw me as an influencer and that I was the winner of the advocacy contest. And something that I thought about that I would love to spearhead, actually, I'm putting myself on the spot, but I can commit. I'm committed. I would love to see next year like a workshop for like social media people and influencers or people that want to learn more about social media. And so I'm putting myself out there that, that's something that I can help bring to the table. I think that there were actually a lot of other influencers and people from the community that do a lot of great work online, and I see them all day, every day. And I think that giving everyone an opportunity to learn more would be a great idea. So that's something I think innovative and new that I could see coming out of next year.
That is golden. And we love that idea. I'm saying we. Because I'm sure the team would. And we do have an abstract submission process. So we would love to see an abstract from you, Jamil, for that workshop. I think it would go over really well because, one of our pillars here at Age United is providing technical support for organizations to be able to represent themselves, gain support online using these social media platforms. We realize that not all organizations have a big team, a communications team, or a social media person. So I think that a workshop like that would be really, really helpful to a lot of our grantees and our partners on the ground. So we look forward to that abstract from you, Jovi.
All right.
Amazing. Well, I just want to thank everyone on all the social media platforms for joining us today. Again, my name is Agnes Nkata Blackwood. I'm the Marketing Communication Manager here at Age United. I want to uplift the entire staff at Age United for the work that you do daily, and Jesse and our whole team for supporting the digital advocacy contest. It's the first time that we ever did it. And for all the other advocates watching this today who participated, used the hashtag 100 times. We had someone who posted over 200 pictures. We just want to say thank you so much for your participation, and keep going. We will have other opportunities for more advocates to have their voices and their stories uplifted, just the way we did with Jomil today. And with that, I invite you to continue to follow Age United platforms. This video will be available on YouTube after the stream. And stay connected with Age United by following us here on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, subscribing to our YouTube, and let us know if you have any questions. Our lines are always open. AIDSWatch will be returning for a virtual session this year and in person in 2025, and we'll be giving you updates on that ASAP. Thank you so much for joining.
Bye. Thank you so much.